Hello and welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. I'm your host, Don Allen III, and today we're going to be working on emoji art. So the one on the left right there is the emoji that we worked on earlier today. This was the heart eyes face emoji. And what we'll be focusing on the next hour is we're going to make the same effect, this kind of giant emoji face, sci-fi, futuristic, but we're gonna do it with a laughing face emoji instead of the heart eyes. So join me on YouTube as we begin the show. It's gonna be really fun, looking forward to it. All right, here we are. Welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. Hello folks on YouTube. So just to give you an idea of what we're gonna be working on, oops, that's the music we're listening to in the background. What we're gonna be working on is this. So here's a quick time lapse of the heart face emoji. We're going to be starting off this tutorial using 4 different programs. We're going to be using Adobe Illustrator, Cinema 4D, Adobe Photoshop, and then we're going to finish off in Analog Effects Pro 2. So that is what we're going to be working on. All of those programs will be shown live here on YouTube. We're doing a screen capture. And Alexander on YouTube or on Instagram, if you want to see the YouTube page, click the link in the bio and it'll take you straight to this video that we are live streaming on my desktop. And you can see all my tabs. Make sure nothing inappropriate is there. Yep, we're looking good. So join me on YouTube and I'll see you there. Okay, cool. So this is what we're gonna be working on. And then we'll have like, an end result. So just to kind of give you a quick overview, we made this one in Cinema 4D. And you can see the different comps in here. We're gonna be making something very similar to this. We're gonna try to bring it into a different sci-fi world. If I toggle outside of our camera here, you notice that we have a pretty legitimate 3D environment. We made a giant emoji face here, and we're gonna be making another world like this, but with just the laughing face emoji. So let us begin. So first and foremost, we're gonna need to go into YouTube, or go into Instagram, or Google Images, sorry, and find the laughing face emoji. Cool, we're gonna be using this to trace the face. So let us do that. So if I go to view image, we're gonna get this giant emoji face. In fact, this one might be a little bit too big of an image. So we're gonna go back and grab this one. That one looks pretty good, and we'll go ahead and hit view image. What we're gonna be doing with this laughing face emoji is bringing it into Adobe Illustrator, where we're going to be sketching it and tracing it to make this kind of face. So earlier, we brought the real face in, then I traced the circle, then we traced the mouth, and then we traced the eyes. So we're gonna do the same process, but with a different emoji. So here we go. Sorry about that, flipping through the screens. Let's drag this into Adobe Illustrator. We're on a locked layer. So let's make sure our layer is unlocked. And now we can drag this to our desktop. I'm gonna double check, make sure that the live stream on YouTube is working correctly. Yep, that looks good to me. Cool, welcome to those on YouTube. Oh, hey, what's up, The Virus Gaming? Cool, welcome to the show. All right, so we are inside of Adobe Illustrator. Why not the camera on the screen? Oh wow, thank you, Yeti. Or Yeti. Very kind folks over here. Let's bring in our laughing face emoji. And I'm just gonna kind of center it up inside of our comp. So we're gonna select all and then click the 2 align tools. Great, so now we have the laughing face emoji roughly in place. I'm gonna zoom in. First thing we need to square away are the eyes and the eyebrows. So to make those, we'll create a new layer and go in with the pen tool. And so with the pen tool selected, we can just kind of pencil in what is going to be the eyes of our emoji character. And then kind of overshooting the image a little bit. We want to make sure that we have enough space for every part of the emoji to be present. So something like this is going to work nicely because that's going to capture the eye shape really well. And then we'll go ahead and move this composition over here. Welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. We are live streaming to YouTube right now, so if you want to see the YouTube stream that is of the screen, you can click the link in the bio, and that will take you to a live stream of our page here. Alright, so we're gonna make this first shape. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, I'm trying to manage 2 live streams at the same time while designing complicated art. We'll see how effective this is, and if it's a pain, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to maybe do it again. Well, we'll see. Alright, now I'm going to kind of trace out the eyebrow, but it's important to separate our layers here. So I'm going to make a brand new layer, and we're going to kind of trace out the eyebrow of the laughing face emoji. Now it's important to very carefully match the lines of the traced image, because we want this to look like the original and official most popular emoji use case, which is the iOS emoji of the laughing face. That face is super common, and we want this to appeal to as many people as possible, so it kind of helps to use images that people can relate to and symbols. So I'm just very carefully going to readjust these eyebrow curvatures. We got to make sure that the eyebrows are on fleek. So in order to make the eyebrows on fleek, we must be careful not to push the polygons too much. There we go. So we're just kind of rounding these off. Cool. That looks like the eyebrow. That looks like the eye. Awesome, awesome. Let's hide those two. We're going to make a brand new layer here in Illustrator. Just for fun and for sanity, we're going to name these layers, but it's going to be annoying because the layers aren't going to transfer into Cinema 4D. But we're just going to call this an eye layer, and we'll call this one the eyebrow layer. And then on this new layer, we're going to call this one eye drop or tear. We're going to call this tear because the crying face emoji on iOS. Hey, hello and welcome folks on Instagram. We are live streaming to YouTube right now, and you are welcome to join us there. We're live streaming to YouTube. If you click the link in the bio, it will take you to my YouTube channel where you can see a live stream of my desktop. We're inside of a program called Adobe Illustrator, and what we're doing is tracing the key parts of the laughing face emoji so that we can turn it into a 3-dimensional object where we will then go crazy with all sorts of cool effects in this tutorial today. Cool, so that's kind of wrapping up the tear. Make sure the tear has a round corner. Most teardrops have a kind of a point, but the crying face emoji actually has a round top at the very top end of the tear. Hey, you explain what you do instead of let us see it? You explain what you do instead of let us see it. I am letting you see it. It's on YouTube. I wonder if I can do this. Oh, that's not helpful. This is kind of it. Maybe I can tilt this here. Yeah, I'm trying to get the angle right for you guys. Okay, cool. So I think this might work. Alright, so we're going through and using red ink to essentially trace out different parts of the emoji face. So right now I'm just making sure that the handles are as closely to the edges as possible. The goal here being we want it to replicate the actual look of the emoji. Right now it looks like he's crying tears of blood. You know, it happens. You know, it happens. Anyway, continuing on, so we now have a tear. We now, oops, we didn't label it correctly. Let's move into this layer. Cool. Copy, can't copy. All right, we'll just name this tear. And so we got our tear emoji. We have our eyebrow. Yep, and then we have our eyeball. Great, so since these 3 objects are on both sides, we can duplicate them and mirror it over to the other side so that it works. Welcome, Pugmat Conventio 5. Welcome to the show. Right now we're in the early stages. What we're going to be doing soon is we're going to be turning this into a crazy 3D world. This is a 3D emoji that we made earlier. I try to put the emoji deep in the forest. So I'm going to try to do something similar to this, but with a different environment and with a different emoji face. We're going to be using the laughing one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll copy this over. Actually, we can probably keep it. No, we shouldn't keep it in the same layer because it has problems. So let's just hit Command C to copy, make a new layer, and do Command Shift V to paste it in place. And then we'll slide the eyebrow over, and then go to Effect, Object. Sorry, go to Object, Transform, Reflect. Hit OK. And that reflects the object by 90 degrees so that we don't have to redraw the eyebrow. We can just make one. Same idea, we're going to copy, Command C, the eyeball. We're going to make a brand new layer and do Command Shift V to paste the eyeball in place. And then go to roughly where it needs to go. Same idea, go to go to Object, Reflect, and hit the 0 on the 90 degrees. There we go. Same. Let's grab our teardrop. And we got it. Command C. We'll make a brand new layer. Command Shift V. And then we'll drag the teardrop and we'll do Object, Transform, Reflect. So what we just did there is we saved us a bunch of time. We now have the same parts of the emoji on both sides of the art and with minimal effort. And that's the goal here. Cool, let's jump in, let's make the mouth. So the mouth can be made out of 2 different circles. Do you see how? This is like a one circle here and then another thin circle up top. Oh, we can't forget the teeth. Let's first make the mouth. So I'm gonna grab a circle and kind of make it pretty much like an oval. And we're gonna slide this so that it aligns with the correct curvature of the bottom part of the mouth. I'm also gonna drop the opacity of this layer so that we can see through it. And I forgot to put it on its own layer, so let's paste that in place. Next, we're gonna make another circle and have it trim. We're gonna have it trim just the upper lip so that we create that mouth shape with as little effort as possible. So I'm gonna bring the opacity back up to 100% and grab these 2 slices and go to our divide tool. Our divide tool, you can find it in the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is in Window, and go down to the P and look for Pathfinder if you don't see it on your Illustrator. And then we can click the divide tool. Make sure you have the correct portion selected when you hit divide. Or let's do intersection. Nope, don't do intersection. Let's try divide. Oh no! There we go. So this one is called exclude. So I made these 2 cutouts, then we can cut the top part off. And look at that. Now we have a mouth shape, 2 eye drops, 2 eyes, and an eyebrow. All we're left with here in Illustrator is really a circle for the face of our emoji character. So we're making good progress. Oh, we already have the face from a different layer, so we can just use that one. Okay, let's rename this this teardrop here. I'm just going to call it Tier 2. And this is this is mouth. So let's name that mouth. Alright, I'm going to grab the mouth and make sure we grab these 2 top points, and I'm going to round the edges in so we don't actually see them past the eardrops. All we have left now is our teeth. So let's make the teeth. Similar to before, we're going to use a brand new layer, and we're going to use the circle tool to make the teeth. It's going to be a really flat circle to get that curve right. There we go. Just for fun, I'm going to use a different color, but you don't need to do this. I'm just going to do bright green. And we're going to drop the opacity so we can see through it. Then we're going to slide the green up. And, ooh, it's not the same curve. I thought it was going to be the same curve, but it's not. We're going to expand it in the y-axis, kind of stretching out. Sorry, expand it in the x-axis so we can kind of expand out the teeth. Now we can grab these 2 objects and do our exclude function. Awesome. Let's delete the upper exclusion, and then we're left with this green weird thing. We'll grab our 2 points and round the edges in. And there we have it. We have the teeth. Let's bring the opacity back up to 100%. Uh-oh, it is at 100%. That's not good. I might have made a critical error, but that's okay. I just need the geometry, so it's not, the color doesn't really matter here. Yeah, I made a mistake. Anyway, ignore that. We will just continue to work without it. So we're going to move the mouth and the teeth behind the teardrops. There we go. All right, cool. So this is all the layers that we need, except for our circle. Let's bring in our circle and we'll be done. So let's grab our circle, bring it right here. And then we'll make the circle match the size of our object here. So we'll go to our opacity options, bring the opacity down so that we can see it through, and we'll grab the edges here. It's really hard to see that yellow edge. So if you ever want to change the color of your label, you can double click. Oh no, I can't change it. Or I guess you can triple click the layer and then change the view. I'm gonna do it to blue, since that's like, it's really opposite on the color wheel, so we'll see the line a little bit better. And we're gonna match the circle and then move it up and down until it aligns perfectly with our emoji face. There we go. All right, I think we got a perfect match, so we'll bring back our opacity to 100%. And now you have a successfully traced emoji. And it's made out of vectors now, so we can scale it to any size, which is gonna make the next part of this tutorial super easy, because we're gonna bring this two-dimensional data into a three-dimensional program known as Cinema 4D. And so now that we have vectors, we can scale the emoji up to make it gigantic above us, and even put a little tiny person for scale, or maybe put like a little horse to see how different the size of the creatures are. But we can't do that if it's just an image, because it will lose quality when you scale it up. But if it's a vector, which we just made in Illustrator, you can scale all you want and have all the fun that you can imagine. Cool. Thank you for joining us. So let's go ahead and hide our original reference image. And just taking a quick peek at the art, making sure that there's no other layers that need adjustments. All right, cool. I think we're ready. So look at this. We have our little laughing face emoji. I just used red and yellow. I mean, the color isn't gonna matter. The most important part here is the data. So these are all vector data. And let's bring this into Cinema 4D, shall we? All right, here we go. Let me just check the comments on YouTube real quick. Good, good, good. Welcome, welcome. All right. So here's the one sneak tip. Sneak tip. Is that a thing? This is the one weird step. You're gonna save this as an Illustrator file, but you're gonna save it as an old Illustrator file. What do I mean by that? I'll show you. We're gonna go to Save As and let it load up. You're not gonna save it as an Illustrator 2017, 2018, 20 blah 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 blah. That's all new. You need to save this as an Illustrator 8 file from back in like 2009, 2007. Somewhere around there was Illustrator 8. And so you're gonna hit save, and then, oops, don't call it, I'm gonna call this emoji vector laugh emoji. Hit save. Cool, so then look at this, the prompt by default is the most recent version. It says Illustrator CC compatible with Illustrator 17 and above. Normally you wanna do this, like 95% of the time you wanna do this. But because we're gonna bring this vector data into a program known as Cinema 4D, it doesn't recognize any new forms of Illustrator. It only recognizes the old Illustrator 8 files. So we're gonna hit Illustrator 8, hit OK, and hit OK again. It's gonna take a second, and now you have a vectorized version of it. So I think we can safely jump into stage 2 of this tutorial. We will now jump into Cinema 4D. So this was the project of the last one with the all the stuff. This is a lot of data. I'm gonna close this project down since we're gonna start from scratch so you guys can see all the steps that are involved, and let's get started. You also notice I did a few different renders. I tried rendering with this little guy right here, holding up a light, but then it looked weird having a little glow near the mouth of the emoji face, so I switched it off, deleted that guy, and I liked it better this way. So this one will probably be similar. We won't really have a human for scale, but I'll try to put some trees or something that the viewer can see it and know that this is a massive object. Great. We're gonna close that and make sure we save our last emoji, hit save, and we'll close this one and we'll go to a brand new Cinema 4D file. Look at this. We're inside Cinema 4D. First thing I like to do is switch it from a startup view, which you're gonna see if you start it. We're gonna switch it to standard. And that's gonna give you a lot more controls, and controls are fun. Oh, I have a light right here. Let me turn this on. Whoa, my God, that's bright. Hang on one second. This was getting dark. All right, so now we're inside of Cinema 4D, and I'm like leaning really weirdly, so I'm gonna move the camera this way and see if I can slide the screen. Sorry about that. Sorry about all the movement. I'm trying to get the better angle here. Okay, cool. We are inside of another program now. Oh, there's a lot of weird reflections. Okay. Let me just double check on YouTube. Yep, we are still streaming to YouTube. Okay, here we go. So, just a moment ago, we saved an Illustrator 8 file. We're gonna now call that back in here. So inside of Cinema 4D, if you wanna bring in another object from another program, you don't use import. Instead, you use this thing called merge. So we go to File, go down to the drop-down, Merge. And we're gonna merge our art into the shot. So we gotta go find it though. Where did I put it? Emoji vector laugh, and check that out. It's an Illustrator 8 file. That's 100% crucial, and we're gonna hit open. And then we'll hit S to find it. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's still importing. Oh, here it is. The scale is giant. Let's do 10 times, we'll do 40 centimeters. I don't know how big that is. And then we'll hit S to find it. Look at this, look at that. Oh, it's hard for you guys to see. But if you look carefully, you'll see that we now have the laughing face emoji as a vector inside of this 3D program. This is gonna be so cool in a second, because now that we have all this data, the most important data, we can now go crazy with the art. We can have fun. So, first things first, we're gonna move all those different paths in 3D space. Some a little bit forward, like the eye drops, some back, like the mouth shape, some really back, like the overall circle of the body. But we're gonna do this. Hello, Ultajon, welcome to the show, and DJ PornoNet, thank you for the kind comments. Let's grab our paths. We got our eyebrows, our eyes. We should label these late now because it's gonna get confusing. We're gonna call this eye. I'm gonna label this one eyebrow, or just call it brow, whatever. Brow. Then we got brow 2. And then we have this one. This is an eye 2. What's this shape? This is our big old mouth smile. What's this shape? Oh, those are the teardrops. Okay. Tears. And then this one's tier 2. Cool. All of our layers are labeled. We'll move it outside of this composition, and we'll call this one emoji circle, or just call it circle face. Oh no, we'll just call it face. Make it simple. Make it real simple for us. There we go. So, nice. Okay, let's grab our eyes. Oh no, let's grab our teardrops, and we're gonna grab our teardrops and we're gonna slide them forward on the Z-axis. Z-axis. Next, we're gonna grab our eyebrows and also drag these forward in the Z-axis. We're gonna grab our circle face and drag it back in the Z-axis. So now we have different actual 3D layers of this two-dimensional data that we have represented. This is my studio. Welcome to where the live streams are. This is where I live. This is where I eat. This is where we learn and share things with people like you from around the world. Okay, so we got our laughing face emoji. It's in there. We have the layers separated. Now what we're gonna do is let the 3D-ing begin. We're going to get rid of these vector. I don't know how those came in there. We're gonna get rid of them. What I'm gonna do is do this thing called extrude. So we're gonna select our teardrop and we're gonna go to extrude. And we're gonna drag the extrude as the child object, or we'll make the tear a child of the extrusion. And the extrusion, you see what that did? It makes it pop out in 3D. It gives it data. So we can now move, we can add movement to that. And look at that. We have an actual three-dimensional tear. Oh, you guys can't see it very well. Let me switch it right here. I need for California. Come to California. That's where we're live streaming from today. All right, cool. So now we have a teardrop. You can kind of see it on Instagram, but it is a lot easier to see on YouTube. I'm just gonna flip the camera around so it'll be a little bit easier to see. Good. All right, so we're live streaming on YouTube and we're live streaming on Instagram. So it's kind of hard to see, but we have the emoji face here. And the emoji face has a teardrop that we used an extrusion on, so it's an actual 3D extrusion of the shape. So we're gonna duplicate that, and then this time we're gonna delete this tier and drag in tier 2. So now we have our 2 tiers that have popped out into 3-dimensional space. Next, we're going to do the same thing to the mouth and to the teeth. So let's grab our teeth and we'll do another extrusion. All right, I'm actually just going to draw out a few extrusions here. So up here in the top, you'll notice these are the extrusion layers. So each time we draw out an extrusion, we can drag any shape that we want in there and it will pop it out in the 3D space. So for example, we have our face, right? If I drag the face as a child of the extrusion, now the face pops out. Look at that, we have a whole face. Let's do the same thing to our eyes. We'll drag an eye and make it a child of the extrusion. This is a child because it has that little, it's underneath. This is the parent. So you're gonna make the extrusion the parent of the object that you want. Yes, you got the right idea. I wish I'd win America Lottery and I'm going to live in America. Come to America. You are welcome. I'm welcoming you. I don't know if our country is welcoming to everybody because it's definitely not. It should be, and I'm sorry about that. I wish I was proud to be an American, but as of 2017, I'm not proud to be an American at all. It's actually an embarrassment. But enough about politics. We're working on laughing face emojis. Ha 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 ha. So we're gonna make the teeth extrude as well. So we're gonna copy our extrusion. Right. So we got this another extrusion here. Oh my God, it's so late. What program are we using? Oh, Silver King 64. We're using a program called Cinema 4D. This is the program Cinema 4D. Okay, cool. Going back. But we drew the face in Adobe Illustrator. So I found an image off of Google that was the laughing face emoji. I'll show you, it's right here. And so I traced each individual part with like the eyes, the eyebrows, other mouth, eyes, mouth, teeth, tears. And so once we traced everything, I copied that data and brought it into Cinema 4D. And this is where we are working right now. All right, cool. So let's, we got this extrusion. I'm gonna copy our extrusion. We're gonna drag our eyebrow into the extrusion and drag our other eyebrow into the other extrusion. Look at that, we got some eyebrows that are popping out now. Now we just gotta worry about the mouth and the teeth, and we'll be pretty much done with the hardest part of this, I think. Okay, so where's the teeth? We're gonna duplicate our extrusion, and we have so many extrusions in this piece. All right, here's our mouth. Wow, that's a big mouth there. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our teeth. Where's the teeth? Uh-oh, I lost my teeth. Huh. Where's that? Do you see the teeth? Oh, there it is. The path got merged somehow in a weird way. Okay. Alright, so I think our teeth are now, yeah, cool, our teeth are 3D. So check that out. We now have a legitimate 3-dimensional face of our laughing face emoji. We can now focus on color and texturing, and you know, this is the meaning of this. Alright, the next big thing that we want to do, that I want to do, is make the mouth actually have depth. So we're gonna have the mouth shape cut out of our circle face. So to do this, we gotta do some weird magic. I'm gonna call it magic. So here's the magic. There's a trick called the Boolean. So I'll demonstrate it with these two cubes. Here's a cube, right? Here's a cube, and here's another cube right on top of itself. We're gonna move it here. A Boolean is this. If you have two objects and you assign them to be a Boolean of each other, one shape will cut out the other one. It's kind of weird, but look at that. So you see how, like, as I move this cube, there's like another cube, an invisible cube, preventing it from reaching that point. So this is a really easy way to make really complicated art just by using the subtraction of the other. And you can always reverse the two. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. If not, I'm sorry. Here's the Boolean object, so we can kind of just like push this invisible object through and it cuts out a slice. So we're going to use the techniques of a Boolean object to use the eyebrows and the mouth shapes to cut out from the geometry of our face. So I'm going to get rid of those two cube shapes, and what we'll do instead is move our face to be the first object in the bool, and then the second object will make it be this mouth shape. And so if we did this correctly, now the mouth, you see that? The mouth is cut out of the circle, and we didn't have to do the complicated 3D modeling to get it. We just used the mouth shape and punched a hole, right? See, there's tricks to all of these things. Same thing, we're gonna grab these two eyeballs and push them in towards the skull, and then also make them be a part of our face. Or actually what we'll do is we'll just grab the geometry of the two eyes and just punch it in there. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, it does not like that. Don't do that. What can we do instead? I guess they can kind of just be like lights or something. Alright, so let's start colorizing our face now that the kind of boring stuff is out of the way. I enjoy this stuff, but it might be boring to other folks. What we'll do now, because soon we're going to get to here. This is the goal. We're going to get it back to this. We made this one earlier today with the heart face emoji. And I want to do the same kind of thing, some kind of dystopian future, but we're going to do it with the laughing face emoji. So let us get there. Okay. Cool. We got the laughing face emoji. Let's do some colors. So I just double click in the material panel and we'll go to our color. And I'm going to change it from to a layer formation. Then we're going to go to the layer and add a gradient. Oops, I clicked image. I meant to click shader and then gradient. We're going to go into the gradient and switch it from TDU to circular. We'll make the outside of the gradient this kind of orange emoji yellowish color. Oops, I meant to do that on the other one, so let's just flip the two. And then on this one, we'll do a bright yellow. This is how the emojis look. They have a yellow core, and then the edges are kind of orange. So we're going to grab that and apply it to our body. Look at that. We're having a little bit of glitching with the eyeballs, but we'll fix that right now because we see it. So we're going to grab our two eyeballs and move them forward in 3D space. Cool. Cool. All right, let's take a look at what the actual emoji is supposed to look like real quick for color. Okay, so we're gonna need some blue and kind of a brown color for the eye holes. All right, so let's make the blue real quick. I'll probably make those out of glass eventually, but for now I just want a solid color, or not a solid color, I want a gradient. So let's make another copy of our circular gradient. We'll jump in there and switch the core color to a light baby blue. And then we'll make the outside color a much deeper, colder blue. And then we'll use this as the texture for our teardrops. So we'll just apply that there. Sweet. Sweet. Cool. Alright, now we need white for the teeth. I guess for that one we can use a solid color. I think that's okay. So we'll just drag this on there. And I'll go ahead and make that a little bit whiter. So we'll just push it. There we go. The teeth are a little bit, they're flying a little bit too far forward. I want to maybe push the teeth into the mouth a little bit further. So we're going to grab the teeth layer and then push it with the Z-axis in. Alright, there we go. So now we got the crying face, laughing face, crying face emoji. Now we need to do these things. So these are supposed to be indents, so those go into the face. Let's make that pop into the face somehow. Let me think of how to do this real quick. We got 2 extrusions. Alright, I can't remember how to make them pop into the face, so I'm just going to try instead maybe just going with what we got. Switch the core color to that orange, and then the outer color to a brownish color. Like the poop emoji colors. Uh-oh. I meant to drag this into the mouth shape. Which one is the mouth? Is this the mouth? Nope, that's the teeth. That's a brow. Where's the mouth? I don't know where our mouth went. Oh, there's the mouth. Took a second. Let's drag that to our mouth. Look at that. We got a 3D replica. Cool. Alright. Next. Make it dystopian. Alright. So what I did for the last project, to make this rusted texture, I used a website that has a bunch of free textures. It's called Polygon. It's spelled like this. They spelled it incorrectly. It's called Polygon. I'm going to zoom in for you. Polygon.com. And these are their free textures. It's not too many, but there's enough that you can do some seriously cool work with it. So in fact, I'm going to try to use this rust texture for this one. Right eyebrow? What do you mean the right eyebrow? Oh my god, I totally forgot about the brow. Thank you, Raymond. Let's grab that brow. Alright, cool. You saved the emoji day. Cool, so let's grab this rusted texture. And look at this. They give you 1K, 3K, and 6K resolution textures for free. Because they want to get you hooked. You know, they want you to come back and be like, oh my god, I love polygon textures. I'm one of those people who comes back to this, and I actually buy some of these now. So be like me and buy their products. Let's go ahead and open up that zip. Oops, where'd it go? Where's the zip? Let's find it again. We go to Show and Finder. There it is. I'm gonna get that rust. Look at this. It gives you a texture that's super high res. Then it gives you the color version of it, the normal map, the bump texture, the gloss data. It gives you the color normalized and the variation color. All of that combined together will make a super, super realistic texture. So let's do it. So we got this yellow, happy emoji face, but it's time to bring them into the dystopian future. Somewhere where we're gonna make it look like this again. So I made this one earlier. Do we want to be in a forest? Do we want to be underwater? Do we want to be on a snow-covered mountain? Where are we gonna be? I'm not sure yet, but rust is part of that. So we'll go into our texture and we'll jump into our texture again. We'll add an image, and this is going to be our first mixture. So we're gonna go to our downloads, and there's our rust texture, and we're gonna open this up in here. Next, we're going to kind of blend the colors together a little bit better using maybe an overlay. No, how about multiply? No, how about screen? No, how about darken? No, how about burn? Maybe. Burn might work. We'll come back to that. We got burn, kind of looks okay. Let's see, maybe multiply. Nope, don't multiply. Let's try burn, subtracting. Nope, how about burning? Let's just give it a quick render real quick. How does it look with that? It looks kind of cool. It's got some rusty texture, and we might want to double up on that. So we could mix the strength. Oh, what about deep ocean in Atlantis? I'm down for that. The only reason why I might be a little resistant to that was earlier this week I made a floating waterhead underwater thing. So I was kind of already deep in the ocean in my mind. So this one was earlier this week. Had this monk summoning the water god. And then the one after that was then the emoji heart face in the forest. So then I'm just trying to think, like, I try to do things in threes now. So we have like a water, we have like forest, and then what? Like a desert, like sand. I don't know. I don't know. But essentially we'll have the same thing. We got the rust texture now for the laughing face in here. This rust texture is a little light, but let's go ahead and add the normal map to see if we can add some good old healthy bumps to the texture. So we'll go ahead and load in our normal map. This is a normal map. What it holds, look at this. Look at this data. Look at this data. This is the kind of stuff that makes everything cool and have natural, realistic reflections. Cool, so we gave it a normal map. Look at that, look at what it did. We already have some super realistic stuff added to this now. But we're not done yet. Oh, no, no, no. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna add a texture and even a bump map and a displacement map. So we'll go ahead and load another image. Actually, we might not need a displacement map. We might be able to get away with just a bump map, which uses less data and still has a pretty good look. I like to keep these file sizes as small as possible. So we'll go ahead and bring in our bump. So I'll use this data here. It looks kind of like a plain black background, but it's not. If I zoom in, you'll see little dots. These are going to be interpreted as bumps for our texture, which will make it look more real. So we'll hit yes, and we'll zoom back out. Okay, let's zoom into our texture and see how our laughing face emoji is coming. Let's go ahead and render that one out. Sweet. All right, it's working. Definitely working. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Let me see what other textures they have on Polygon. Again, this was not sponsored by Polygon. I just like their stuff. We got Gene texture. We have concrete wall. We have whatever this is. Hardwood. This is ground forest mulch. Looks gross. There's lots of different floors we can work with. Ooh, this one looks kind of cool. Rust mixed on paint. This might look better than the rusty texture we have on it already. Let's get this one actually. Okay, letting that download. In the meantime, we'll make a copy of this texture here. And in the copy, we'll just we'll replace everything with the new texture that we're getting downloaded here. There it is. Cool, it's got reflection, normal maps, gloss maps, and color maps. So let's go to our color. Grab our color shader and switch out this image. Cool, let's grab this color in here. Hit OK. Okay, let's throw this on, see what happens. Sweet, let's render that real quick. Okay, this might work. Well, you know, we're gonna of course need to adjust the temperature of everything, but the texture-wise, I like this look. We'll go into our bump channel where the textures be bumping, and we're gonna load in a different image. We're gonna use this texture as the bump map. Then we'll go to our normal map. This is for some glossiness. We're gonna switch our glossy texture for this one instead. Let's go ahead and load this image, grab our normal map. Look at that normal map. So much pretty data. Love it. Cool. All right, so this texture is probably good now. Let's render it out. Sweet. Now let's make sure that the color yellow seeps through the texture. So we'll go in here and set it to maybe multiply. And then we'll get the rusty texture, but we'll have our nice emoji yellow color. Yeah. Yeah, cool. That works. We'll probably put some spray paint on it too, like as if someone like tagged it or something. Okay, cool. Love it. Next, same idea. Let's add some more crazy texture to our other objects. So these eyebrows, for example, we need to add some sharpening to them or whatever. Or maybe we can just make them really reflective or something. Yeah, let's do that actually. So we'll go into our brown texture here, go to our reflectance and go to add a Beckman, and then we'll roughen the Beckman up so that light scatters all over the place, and then we'll reduce the reflection strength so we see that brown color still. And what do we get? Let's render it. Whoa. All right, cool. So now you can see carefully right in here that we've got this nice little light kind of bumping into here. So we're actually going to increase that reflection strength a little bit stronger, and we'll be able to see more of that blue light kind of on there, kind of glossy. Awesome. We're going to do the same thing to the white. So we'll go to our reflection, add a Beckman. Good old Beckman, and reduce that reflection brightness. Kind of getting like an ivory color in there. So now we'll have a nice reflective teeth. So the teeth kind of have a nice pretty reflection on it from the blue light source here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's get that water looking more watery. So I had an idea of making it glass. Let's see what that looks like, or if that's realistic, or if that's dumb. All right, so now these are actually made out of glass, so we should be able to see through them when we render them. Ooh, it was a weak render. Let me try substituting the texture with the new one. Okay, so now they're transparent. Cool. I actually like that one a lot. We can kind of see through. Maybe I'll make them a little bit more opaque. Yeah, just a little bit more opaque, a little bit harder to see through. But I still want it to have the translucentness for the emoji tears. We got to make sure that they're pretty. There we go. All right, so we can kind of see through them now. Maybe we want to see through them just a little bit more. Just a hair more. I'm going to make it a little bit more transparent. We're going to drag it towards the transparency curve and then render that one out. And cool. Now we can kind of see the teeth through it and part of the cheek here. This one's more easily seen. Guess I'm going to make it even more transparent. Can't help it. Cool. All right, how's it looking? Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Next, we're going to add some blue light into the shot. The blue light will be for the tears. So we made a new light source. We're going to move it up and put it right behind this tear. Or I guess it's inside of the glass. That's cool. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make the light blue by switching it to blue. Cool, we got a blue light inside of the eye, and then we'll make sure that it's parented correctly. Oops, I parented to the wrong eyeball. Okay. Oh, right now there's only one light. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Interesting. Alright, let's make this a visible light that casts soft shadows, and it has a volumetric nature to it, meaning the light will kind of expand past it a little bit. give it a little bit more blueness. That was almost too much of like a white glow, but I want it to be kind of a blue glow. We'll copy another one over here for the other teardrop and see what we get. Okay, that's kind of cool. We get these nice blue lights coming from the eyes. It's kind of hard to see what's going on though, so we'll definitely need more light. But I like where this is kind of going. Yeah. Alright, let's go to our teeth and add a luminance channel. The luminance channel is just going to cast like white light from the teeth. I think this is going to help with our reflections, making like a little bit brighter in there. Maybe we shouldn't have added a luminance. That was a little bit too bright. We'll drop that like a ton. Let's just have it 18% brightness. And then for the eyeball things, we'll add some luminance to them as well. This one won't be a white luminance. We'll just add a brown luminance to them so that they kind of glow a little bit in the night. Just have a little bit of a glowing nature. Okay, there we go. So now the eyebrows should kind of glow a little bit. Actually, I don't like the glow too much. I'm going to remove it. Okay, let's remove the luminance channel. Wonderful. Alright, so we're using a software known as Cinema 4D. It's great for designing 3D stuff. So we made this in Cinema 4D earlier today. It was the heart face emoji. Now we're making the laughing face emoji using similar principles, and it's going to be really fun. I'm trying to think what world we want to put this character in. I don't know yet. So I'm just kind of teetering a bit and experimenting with different light from the eyes. I'm going to group this whole thing together and call it the laughing face emoji. So we're going to group the object here. Group, 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 group. Grouped. Cool, so now we can move the whole thing as one entity. Alright, cool. So that's its origin point. So now we can like do stuff like this. We can rotate it and it'll hook to one side, like ha 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 ha. Hello. Do you upload your video on yes, I'm actually on YouTube right now. We're live streaming to YouTube as we speak. See, look. That was in the past, but it's already live on YouTube. So you can watch every step necessary to get to this point. Cool. Yeah, every step has been uploaded. I did not upload the tutorial for the heart face though. I wanted to practice on it first, but this one, every step is here. Cool. The next thing we're gonna do is move more lights around our scene. So here's another light, and we're gonna push it way above everything. And we're gonna grab our scene and just kind of scale the world down. And we're gonna move everything down to the center origin where most things will spawn from. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so pretty soon we're going to start adding some trees and some vegetation. Let's see what we got with the light in here. Alright, so this is our light. I'm going to move it forward. And make sure that it's casting shadows. Kind of give it a little bit of, we'll make it a colder light, a little bit of blue hint to it. And we'll give it a soft shadow. Go ahead and render that out. Alright, cool. So it's definitely getting 3D now. Okay. Alright, I like this. We are on the next stage. So just to reiterate, we started off in Adobe Illustrator. This is where we used the original emoji face and then traced it. We made a circle, we made the eyes, the eyebrows, the other eye, the mouth, the teeth, the tears. We did all this in Illustrator so that we could bring in all that vector data into Cinema 4D, where we extruded everything into 3 dimensions and we can place it how we want. So in the next 30 minutes, we're going to now bring in and put it into a new environment. So we worked on this one earlier today. We're going to, we did the heart face emoji. We put it into this vegetation environment with some trees. We're going to put it into a new environment. Maybe it's snow. I don't know. I'm trying to think where we should put this person. What environment are we going to be in today? I don't know yet. But I just know that he's laughing. He thinks it's so funny. He's just like laughing like, he has no idea what he's talking about. Okay. But in all seriousness, I'm going to temporarily turn off the transparency for the eyes because it's actually taking a lot longer to render the transparency. So I'm just going to temporarily turn it off. Not for good, just temporarily. Because then it'll just load up a little bit faster when we do our render previews. Okay, also I think the rest is a little crazy intense. I might want to dampen the strength of that rust a little bit. So let's go into our color of our rust and just drop it from 100%. We're just going to drop it to like 89%, 85%, just to kind of lessen the strength a bit. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Cool. Environment time. Let's bring in a landscape and then scale up that scape. Maybe he's laughing in his own tears. He could be in a pool of tears. That might be funny. Whoa. Okay. So let's think environments. Where are we? Are we in a cave? Are we on a mountaintop? Are we deep below the earth? Help me find out where we are. Right now we're sculpting the landscape that we want this character to live in. I guess we can maybe be in some snow this time. That's a little different. I haven't made any snow in a while. Looks like we have 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining for the live stream here on Instagram. But we are still live streaming to YouTube, so if you want to laugh with us and see what we're going to turn this into, feel free to join us there. Oh my god, maybe the character is submerged in the snow. That might be kind of cool. We also have a random seed generator, so we can generate all sorts of mountainscapes super quickly. One of those was good, I just can't find it anymore. I kind of like this one. Alright, this is going to be the water that the character is submerged in or something. Maybe we rotated the face too much. We can dial that back. Alright, so the live stream has ended on Instagram, but I'm going to start it back up again. Alright, so we're just kind of moving mountains around. We want to give it space, the space that it needs. And we're just adjusting things to kind of fit our environment a little bit better. Alright, so we've made this in the last hour. You can still see this on YouTube. We're live streaming to YouTube as we speak. Alright, let's get some snowy mountains in here. Alright, so we got some snowy mountains a little bit. Let's add a little bit more depth segments to those mountains so that we can smooth them out, shall we? Let's try to do the maximum we can get in here. Maybe let's do 600 by 7, or no, let's do 7. We can do 800 by 800. Alright, we'll increase the brightness, or sorry, reflection strength of the floor, and we'll kind of just make like an ice sheet here. Hello and welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. We are now in step or phase 3. We are texturing the environment, creating the world that this character will live in. I'm still deciding if we want them to be in like some kind of snow valley or if we want them to be in a desert. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. So you can help decide with me. Let's move the sea level up a little bit. This is someone who laughed until they froze to death in an ice lake. But then the rusty texture doesn't make sense anymore, so then we might not do that. I'm trying to think what would make sense. If you were rusty and covered in ice, would you be laughing about it? I don't know. Alright, well, what I'm going to do now is go in and look for what's called an Hdri image. Uh-oh, our live stream kind of broke. Oh no! I wonder how long that was broken for. Ice flake? Ooh. Alright, let's look up an ice lake, because it rhymes with ice flake. So we're looking up ice lake texture. We're just gonna load this image up. Oh wow, there's some pretty ice lakes. Look at that. I love these. All right, let's do load large images. Ice flakes, ice lakes, lakes of flaky ice flakes. What's this one? That one looks pretty good. Although we can probably make that in a 3D program. It might be better with a real photograph, huh? Okay, let's bring in this ice lake as a snowy texture for our ground. And add it to our color layer as a layer. And add a shader, we'll go to our color. Cool, and we'll add another shader and we'll add our image. And then we have this image on our desktop now, on an ice lake. Cool. Thank you so much, BSG48. Cool. All right, so we just added an ice lake texture to the floor. Let's use that as a bump map as well so that the floor has like flaky ice. So we'll go ahead and bring that texture back in. Cool, so now we have a ice flaky floor, hopefully. Whoa. Ooh, I like this. Okay, I guess we're gonna stick with the ice lakiness. Let's add more subdivisions to our plane. I'm gonna multiply this by, let's do 480 by 480. This will just add a little bit more definition to the ground. Thank you, DJ, or Djavan Rodriguez. Cool. So if you want to watch the full tutorial, believe it or not, we're actually live streaming to YouTube right now as we speak. Oh no, but it keeps going to this other one. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But yeah, we're live streaming to YouTube right now, so it's Emoji Art. This was the one we made earlier today, and now we're making a snow-based one. But yeah, the whole tutorial is still up there, so if you want to watch it, you can. I share where I get my textures from, or when I make them, vice versa. Okay, cool, we got some snowy lake. Nice. Let's get an HDRI image of an ice lake. You're like, what's an HDRI image? It's these things. They look like 360 images, and they look all warped and weird, but you can use this data to wrap it around your world so that the reflections of objects in them are more correct. So we'll do ice lake HDRI, and look at that, lots of people have uploaded images of ice lakes as an HDRI image, which is super helpful here. I like this one. Let's see if it's large enough. Ooh, it's tiny, very tiny image. Let's go to tools and search for large images only. This one's pretty icy lake looking. Interesting. Alright, I guess we can use this as reflection data. What do you think? This red leaf is kind of peculiar though. Let me see. I wanted maybe more blues. Let's try this one. Oh, this one's gonna be it. Look at that. We got cloud texture, we got some trees. Let's use this as an HDRI image. I'm actually a fool. I actually don't even know what HDRI stands for. I wish I did. If anyone knows, please help. But all I know is you can use an HDRI image to wrap around your world. So we're going to add a sky object, so it's going to be the sky becomes your world, and then we apply the image that we just pulled from the internet as the sky. I am not a developer, but I am a motion graphics designer and a 3D artist. That is me. I don't know anything about, actually I know a little bit about coding. I coded my website. I've coded a couple little fun apps in my day, but nothing too intense. Cool. Alright, so now we have our snowy ice HDRI image. Oh, it's weird. It's set to a bump map. I don't want that. Let's send it to our texture, and we'll load this image here. There's our ice lake. We want our ice nature forest. There it is. Hit open. Look at that. We're going to throw this around our world. And we'll save a camera spot. Look at that. So now we have like a world around everything. But I'm actually not going to show the world in real life. I'm only going to use the light from the world. Whoa, underneath the lake. That's cool. Let's go back to our camera. And if we set a compositing tag to our image, we can make it so that constrain and make sure that the background is not seen by the camera. Okay, but we'll get all the light from it. So, giving it a quick render pass, see what our ice lake looks like now with textures and stuff.
You're still a rich girl who lives in a giant townhouse in the CBD's 14th Street.
All right, cool. I don't know how I'm feeling about the rusty texture though, because it doesn't seem to match the blue, the snowiness of everything else. You feel me? Alright, I'm going to use a subdivision surface to smooth out the landscape, make it more snowy. My name is Sao Fian, and I like web design and JavaScript. Oh, nice. Well, you're in a good spot. I like tech stuff here as well. Let's grab the mouth object here and make the mouth a little bit deeper into the face so that we can oh no. The mouth keeps disappearing, that's awkward. Whoa. Alright, cool. I just wanted the mouth to be a little bit deeper so we can get some water in the mouth. You know, it's important to have water in the mouth. Hello, hello. Alright, cool, so we got it. Let's make our comp size correct. So we'll go to our output, we'll make it sure it's just do something like 1080 by 1080. Make it a good old large square for Instagram. And then we trim this so it's more of a square over here. We'll zoom in. We're gonna now need to add some trees and vegetation. Maybe we'll put a boat out here or something. Awesome. Welcome to the show. Alright, we're giving a quick render pass. It's calculating all of the data. What's it gonna look like? Ooh, it's taking a long time. Maybe we should take off the subdivision surface since that seems to be eating up the machine's memory. We're gonna get rid of the subdivision surface. Hopefully it renders faster now. Fingers crossed. Yep, it renders faster. Cool. Alright, so actually I want to add more lights, I decided. Add more lights to our scene. Let's give the brows less reflection strength so they're not so shiny. Okay, so the eyes should be a little bit less reflective now. Fingers crossed again. Ah, wow, they're still very reflective. I don't want that. Oh, you know what might be cool if we have a light emitting from the mouth or something. But what colored light would we have emitting from the mouth? Whoa, the light just got so bright. Oh, because we copied it. Alright, so I'm going to move this light way back here and way up in the sky, or maybe far back here. This is an accent light. We're going to use a slightly different color blue for that one, maybe a deeper blue over here. And this will just be an accent. And then we'll return back to our emoji face in the ice. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Hey, thank you so much. Alright, cool. So we got some water in the mouth, or I guess like ice water, which is cool. And then we have some snow. Oh, well I don't do too much web design. I mostly just do like illustrations or animations for people. Or videos, but I'm not much of a web designer. I don't really design websites too much anymore. Alright, let's grab our face and let's see if we rotate him a different way. Whoa! Ha 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 ha. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. It's important to goof off all the time. Don't take life too seriously. We only get one of them. Alright, cool. Oh, we want the mouth to be in the water. There we go. So this character laughed so hard they just froze to death. Salfion, I apologize, but I don't really do web design. But if you're looking for experience for web design, I would say design a portfolio website where you make every part of it and you code a bunch of it, and then it becomes a sample work of what you can do, and also an excuse for you to try your craft. Alright, cool. I like this one now. I like this angle, so let's save this camera spot. Let's add some trees. We need some pretty old trees. Oh my god, I haven't saved once. Don't do this, folks. Laugh face. You should save all the time. The power went out for a split second. Lose everything. Alright, let's get some trees in here. Here we go. Where are the trees? Actually, is there such thing as a snow texture? Let me look it up. Snow texture. Oh wow, there is snow texture. I guess I should use this for my mountain, since it will make up for some of the issues I'm having with the mountain not looking correct. So we'll find this texture looks like some snow. Oh wow, there's a lot of snow texture. Oh, this one looks nice. Oh, it's like a fluffy snow. I love this. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Let's drag it to the desktop. And then we're going to make some new snowy texture. I don't know why, but it's all bumpy. And it shouldn't be. Okay, alright, so we got this. Let's add a new... oh, thank you so much. YouTube transmission is breaking constantly. Oh, dang it. Thank you for the heads up. I think I know what's happening. There's a hotkey that keeps changing it to a different... that's a bummer. I'm going to end the YouTube live stream because it keeps breaking. Thank you so much for watching Creativity with DA3 Live. I apologize for the errors in the tutorial with the live stream, but hopefully you learned a little bit. And thank you so much for watching the show. Bye-bye.